It's the first proper coffee I've had in about 3 days because I've run out of coffee. And my order only came last night. Oh, it tastes so good. Hello guys, how are we doing? And welcome back to another video. I am a little bit sleepy this morning. It is currently 8:30. It is Saturday morning. And I've got some interesting news and developments since the last video. I know I'm not putting videos out quite so frequently at the moment, but as you can understand from the last video, me moving away, there's lots of stuff going on, and I'm only wanting to put out videos and content that I actually enjoy putting out. I'm not bothered about putting tons and tons of stuff out if it's all rubbish. So there we go. But yeah, I have some developments, both in my flat in terms of getting prepped for moving away, but also in terms of how the school year has ended. Yeah. So I'm going to cut straight to the chase. Yesterday, I found out that I've caught COVID.
No. Oh, no.
Yeah, I have absolutely zero symptoms. I can taste, I can smell. I don't feel like I'm ill even remotely. I feel great, I feel fit, I feel healthy. The sun has started to come out, which is a shame because now I've got to isolate, obviously. But I feel good. So it was a real surprise and a real shock when I found out that the PCR test that I took came back positive. And the reason that I took a PCR test, I'm not going to go into the details too much because I'm just not. But basically, I was working at school, and I happened to come into close contact with someone else who tested positive, and so I had to isolate. That was fine. You know, it is what it is. These things happen. And so I came home and I took one of the lateral flow tests. Came back negative. I thought, oh, that's all right, I don't have it, great. I informed, obviously, my head and let the school know. And then, but I still had to isolate. And then I was talking to my family and my sister. My sister's a paramedic, and she advised me to take a PCR as they're more accurate. So I booked one in for the following day, took it, thought, oh, I feel fine. I know that, you know, people can be asymptomatic, but the lateral flow was negative. I doubt I've caught it. The person whom I potentially caught it from, I wasn't in contact with them for that long. It should be okay. Woke up yesterday morning at 6 o'clock to find out that it was positive, which, like I say, was a bit of a shock. But there we go. We live, we move. So yeah, but what that does unfortunately mean is my entire class is now isolating as well, which is very disappointing. So what does this mean for the end of my time at this school? Well, unfortunately, it means that I've not been able to say goodbye to the kids, and while I'm going to try, once I finish isolation and stuff, I'm going to try and go back over. I've got to drop my keys off and things like that at the school anyway. And if there's anyone about that is you know, that wants to say goodbye and stuff, then great. But I expect there are going to be some children I just don't see again, and some parents and some teachers that I just won't see again, which is quite upsetting. But I think I've slowly come to terms with that fact. And the reality that it is just, you know, it's the time we're living in at the moment with COVID. But there we go. So it's quite a flat end to the year. I've got to isolate now for like another 8 days or so, 7 or 8 days. And then I'm going to go back in quickly, nip my keys in, like I say. And if there is anyone about, then hopefully I'll get to say goodbye to them. But then that's it, really. There's not really anything else I can do with school. Like, it's the summer holidays next week. So that would naturally be the end of my time at the school. So yeah, in terms of the rest of it, it doesn't really affect the rest of it. If anything, I've been able to get on with doing more stuff in my flat because I'm now at home. I can't do anything else, right? So I have tidied some more of the flat up. I will take you around in a second. I've started painting a few bits and bobs because, like this wall, for instance, there were screws in it, and so I've taken those out and sanded the wall down and painted and things like that. So yeah, it's just, I suppose, trying to get things ready for when I leave now. Bit flat. So, let me show you what I've been doing. So, the first thing I've done is this wall. As you can probably see, there are some screws in it. So, there were loads of screws, because I don't know if you've been watching my videos for a little while, there was like a big sort of load of artwork up on that piece. So, I've taken that down. There was a massive mirror there. That's gone. And there were various other bits and bobs on the wall, quite naturally, like there was a clock up there as well. And obviously, by taking those screws out, there were screw marks. So I've painted that wall now. patched it up, so that wall is good to go. My pile of charity shop items has also grown. I have taken more stuff out of my kitchen and have cleaned down the cupboards. So this is completely empty, as are these. That's empty, and that one down there is also empty. And I have either condensed down into other cupboards or I have stuck it in the charity shops section. My spare bedroom has now grown with even more stuff in it. So there's more bits and bobs and air dryers and things like that. But that stuff is now all going to get taken back down to my parents, and I'm either going to take it with me or it's going to, they want some of it, for instance. Now that I am no longer going back into school, I now no longer need any of my work clothes except for the things that I have bought and prepped ready for my new school in Abu Dhabi. And so my wardrobe is basically empty, apart from things I'm going to wear over the next week. So I've got some funky shirts, including a nice Hawaiian one that I was going to wear on the staff night out, but there we go. So there we go. And also all of the Hawaiian sunglasses and stuff. I'm not bitter. But anyway, so there you go. I've not really done too much in here because I've run out of grey paint, so that will be something that we do when my parents come up. And then there is this issue. Ignoring the lino, I will just... In here is my ensuite, which is now looking a little bit like a work site. So I had a shower cubicle in there, as you can probably tell. And over the last couple of years, there has been some leakage. And you can see down there, it's got a little bit damp. The lino has started to lift up. And so we decided that it was best to get a new shower because my parents are going to be renting it out. And so we got a plumber in to rip it out. Now, unfortunately, he was meant to be coming back to fit the new shower and stuff, and that would have taken a couple of days next week. But now I'm isolating, that can't happen. So we're having to delay that process ever so slightly by a few days. Fortunately, he is able to adjust his schedule, and it just means that we'll be staying in the area for a little bit longer before finally moving back down to Sussex and enjoying the summer before I go away. So there we go. But that's pretty much it in terms of what I've been up to in my flat. Been painting here and there. There's not really a lot else I can do because I can't take anything outside of the flat because I'm isolating. I've probably said that word several times, but there we go. So yeah, there is one slight more bit of news from my new school, and that is that I should be finding out about my flights this week. So Abu Dhabi had apparently said, the authorities had said that they were going to announce that there were going to be some updates to their flight schedules and to their green, amber and red lists, and that was meant to come out earlier in this week. But that didn't happen, or nothing changed, something like that. I'm not sure on the exact details, but it didn't change, and the school were basically holding off to see what changes were going to happen. Now that there aren't any changes, the school realises, well, they might as well just book flights. So that was the next job that the school was going to do. They were going to book flights and they were going to send us all the details. So this week, or from tomorrow onwards, I should hopefully get details on flights, which I'm really looking forward to, because then that gives me like a deadline, right, of things to do and people I could see, because then I'll have like this is the last time I'm in the UK sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll also have my hotel information, because when I first fly out there, they'll stick me in a hotel for a week or so that I can then get everything ready to move into my apartment. And yeah. And the last thing that's happened is my final contract, which details everything, came through. I signed that, sent that back off, and I also sent them some headshots ready for my visa. I believe normally the visas would be completed when I was out there, but because of COVID, they want everyone to have visas and stuff before we leave, so that the process is smoother when we get out there and we don't have to isolate and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, so I've done that. I've not received any visas yet, but hopefully they will come soon. And that's it. So there we go. Bit of a flat end to the term, but I do want to say one more thing before I round this video up, and that is that while I have been quite lighthearted about the whole situation, and I have very much come to terms with it now, although it's less than ideal, and I really want to be able to be back in school. I don't do very well with not working and being at home and isolating, all that kind of stuff. I don't do very well with it. I do want to just say that, you know, this is quite a serious matter still. You know, there are lots of people that have caught COVID that have been very unwell, and there have been lots of people that have sadly died from it. So I don't want it to seem like I'm just being quite lighthearted about the whole situation because I don't have any symptoms. I think part of the reason I don't have any symptoms is because I'm young. You know, I'm 28 in like 3 days' time, which also sucks because I'm going to be spending my birthday by myself in my flat when the weather's so beautiful, but I can't leave. That's a bit, it's a bit annoying. But I'm young, I'm fit, I'm healthy. I've got a really strong immune system, and I've already had one COVID jab. I had the Pfizer jab about 3 weeks ago, which probably has also helped. But I don't want to be lighthearted about it because I know that COVID has affected lots of people in some really, really, really negative ways. But yeah, there we go. That is a bit of an update, guys. Like I say, if you're a new teacher, hopefully this kind of style of video helps you understand the process. My process might be a bit different to you because I'm obviously having to sell or rent on my flat, so there are certain things I have to do, which you might not have to. But there we go. So contracts are signed, flight details should be coming out soon, and I should also get my visa soon too. Yeah. Right, guys, I am going to end the video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button and consider subscribing because why wouldn't you? And I'll see you guys soon. See you later.